Hello fellow humans and welcome to this week's shop review. I want to start with the most important section, that is obviously the tanks. Now the CS52 event is still ongoing. If you are able to obtain it, get it. However, this vehicle, to buy it for money, no. Same with these two. The Panzer II is a meme tank. The T15, while it is somewhat of a solid vehicle, it's tier 3, so it's not really worth it. However, you can sell the Panzer IIJ for 1,000 gold and the T15 for 950 gold. So if that's an approach you want to take, it can be worth it if you sell the two vehicles. However, the bundle doesn't include anything besides that, so the gold value is questionable, so I would not really recommend doing that. Then we move on to the T95E6, which was cheaper a while ago. Now it's not, and for this price, I absolutely would not buy this vehicle, given that it's not good. It has solid DPM, however, it can't pen anything, and the turret is the classic M48 pattern turret, which means you can't go hull down. You have a massive cupola. So, not a recommendation from me, dog. Now, the Churchill 3, it's a tier 5. It's a premium vehicle, which means you can't even sell it for gold. And there is absolutely 0 points in buying this unless you want to torture yourself. So, if you're a bit less kinky, then the Object 2FTU and the T34-3 might be somewhat of a better deal. The problem, though, is that the price is not right on this. Because if we have a look, the Object 2FTU costs 8,000 gold. That is 3,000 more what it was sold for last time, which was 5,000. That's not good. And I definitely would not recommend the vehicle in this state. If it is sold for 5,000, then you have a good competitor to the Type 57 or a 112-2. However, for 8,000 gold, why? It is a complete and utter ripoff for that price. Then we move on to the AMX-30 and Barask. I talked about in detail about that last week. They're both solid tanks. The Barask is a bit overrated, yet good nonetheless. And overall, it can be worth it if you are a good player. If you're a bad player, stay away from light tanks. Light tanks, the M4190. Again, if you're not a good player, stay away from it as well. Now, this thing, like the Barask, has very horrible penetration. Obviously, the Barask has an autoloader. This thing doesn't. This thing does have high explosive plastic, which means the HE penetration is a lot higher. If you're a good player and you want to hunt other light tanks and lightly armored tanks, then this can be a good option. However, mind you, it is not a primary premium tank that you want to use to earn credits. This is a fun vehicle for when you want to have fun. And then these two, like last week, they're still pointless collection items that are solid vehicles but aren't really worth buying because they don't really have a reason to own them. However, if you find yourself a reason that you just want to collect them, or you're a fan of British tanks, then they can be worth it. However, overall, it isn't really tanks that you have to have. Same goes for the 268 version 4, current form, overpriced, and is just a worse vehicle than the Badger, which is not only cheaper, but also better. The Badger, wow, 3.8k DPM. I think that's all I gotta say. If you are a tank destroyer fan, and you, let's say, like the T110E3, then this can be a great addition to your garage as well. However, if you don't like tank destroyers, there's no point in buying it, obviously. Going on, resources. All of these include credits. Don't buy resources that include credits. Don't buy these camos. They're incredibly overpriced. Where did the rest of them go? Anyway, and the gold, if you have the double gold, can be worth it over, for example, these credit bundles. The double gold is better than those, but if you don't have the double gold, there's 0 point to do that. And obviously, as always, open your free crates right here. However, as always, ladies and gentlemen, this section down here does not exist to you. Mega containers, alt proto containers, British containers, they are designed to promote value when there isn't any, so you buy it and then you get less than what you would have gotten if you didn't buy them and you bought something else. Do not, under any circumstances, participate in this online gambling. And lastly, fresh out of the oven, the Emil 1951 and the Chimera. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail to these vehicles today because I don't like the price at all. However, the Chimera is an excellent vehicle. I believe it is a must-have premium tank if you aren't a free-to-play player. And the ML951 is a good vehicle as well. However, it is overshadowed by the ML1, which just simply has better turret armor, so it's way better at the same playstyle. However, they're both excellent vehicles that I definitely recommend picking up. You know, the Chimera's got everything, except the mobility. That's not really great about it, but it's got high alpha damage, it's got pretty solid armor. It's got everything, so I definitely recommend getting the Chimera. The ML951 is pretty solid as well. You don't really have good DPM, but you have an excellent autoloader, 10 degrees of gun depression, and pretty good speed with a special speed boost as well. The problem is the price, 17.5k for both of these is too much. And in other news, the event that I still can't see is still ongoing, and update 10.0 will release sometime in the future. So that's about it. Here we go with the Badger. Now, first of all, I don't like tank destroyers, just to make that clear. So everything I'm saying positive about the tank, I don't represent. That's what's good about it. I don't care about it though. So basically, this vehicle has three things that are extremely good at it: front plate, DPM, and gun depression. You've got 10 degrees, 3,800, and about almost 350 millimeters of front armor. Now, you can still get penned by high-energy heat rounds, like of a T-57 Heavy or a T-125, for example, and obviously the lower plate can also be penned by anything. So, yeah, that's something you have to watch out for, and obviously because it's quite a wide vehicle, it's pretty much impossible to hide that in any capacity if you happen to have it exposed, which means that you always have to be in a position where they can't access your lower plate. If they can, no idea what you're thinking, T62A. No, it probably isn't. Then, yeah, this is not good at all, because our Vickers has discombobulated senselessly, and now, yeah, there is no chance. Our TVP is free of competence, to put it nicely. And now they have three guys all the way over there that are going to absolutely dominate this side of the map. And we are 5 versus 7. And that is a good trick that I recommend you to do as well. When you spot a player that is extremely bad at what they're doing, just simply take them out of the equation for the game. Okay. Because then you're not mad if they die, and you're a lot more aware of what's going on, because you can't ascribe competence to someone that isn't going to provide the team with any value. No idea where that shot went, but I have no idea why he's also giving up. So I guess let's take that. He just surrenders, I guess. What is he doing? Like, don't do that. You can always get a bit more. Oh, there's a house there. It's like right on the corner. It's not a ghost shell, if you're mad at that. It's just there's a house right on his hitbox. And now we're gonna have to house tanks over there, and now we're gonna send one more, and he has surrendered somehow. Okay, and I would love to peek the 263 here, because I can do that while being covered from the Vickers, because you can't pen that. But on the other hand, the IS-4's there, but the IS-4 just fired, which means I'm now able to progress forward and shoot 263. Okay, 3.5k damage. This is how this vehicle works. IS-4 fired again, which means I can again progress forward, aim, and fire. And now he's shooting the premium ammo into me, but that's not quite enough. Now again, we are... Well, I'm 1v4 essentially. That's how I see this situation as. Given the hit points of the type. And that's not really great. And there we go. Now, I have 1,800 mobile hit points at my disposal here. That is about the best we can manage. It's not great, but the bigger problem is going to be the Vickers going up there. Like, that's what's going to completely destroy me if that does happen. The object and the E100 aren't really that big of a problem. Especially if it does that. And there is the E100. And yeah, there's the Vickers as well. They're playing this properly. The TVP has, well, he has a sense of self-preservation, but no sense of intelligence. And despite doing 5,000 damage, this game will result in a loss. So that's how you play the Badger. Just hold it and shoot. Now, unfortunately, if this happens, there's nothing you can do about it. So with that said, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.